Hi friends, now we can discuss quantity theory of money. Quantity theory of money is a major element in the classical theory, which shows the relationship between quantity of money and the price level. The theory states a direct and proportional relationship between money supply and the price level. There are two versions to the quantity theory of money. Number one, cash transaction approach, and number two, cash balances approach. Cash transactions approach of the quantity theory of money was developed by Irving Fisher, which considers role of money as a medium of exchange. He developed an equation of exchange, that is MV equal to PT, where M represents total quantity of money, V velocity of circulation of money, P price level, T total quantity of goods and services exchanged during the year. He assumed that V and T are stable in the short run and P is positive. It also assumed that V and M are independent of one another. V depends upon the physical means of transporting money, spending habits, and payment mechanism. In the short run, the effects of these variables on V are assumed constants. Classical theory is also based on the assumption of full employment equilibrium. In such an economy, labor force work with the fixed stock of capital and given production techniques produces a given level of output. The volume of output corresponding to full employment is stable in the short run. Thus, T also constant. Price level P is passive, which depends upon the money supply M. Now, any change in the M causes proportionate change in the P. Thus, the central bank can control changes in the price level by controlling the money supply in the economy. Now, the theory is subject to certain limitations. They are: number one, transaction approach to the quantity theory of money gives too much importance to the quantity of money, that is on supply side. The theory neglects demand for money, but the value of money determined by demand for money and the supply of money. Secondly, the theory attempts to show only how changes in the value of money are brought about. There is no explanation is given on the determination of the value of money initially. The theory assumed that four variables M, V, P, and T are independent of one another, but actually a change in M is likely to bring about a change in V. Changes in the M and V are likely to influence T also. Thus, the assumptions regarding the behavior of V and T are unrealistic. Fourth limitation is the theory does not take into account the role of rate of interest, which is very much significant in the theory of money. Fifth limitation, Keynes criticized the assumption of full employment equilibrium. According to Keynes, underemployment equilibrium is the normal case, and full employment equilibrium is a very rarely found. Sixth one, Keynes challenged the direct and proportional relationship between money supply and the price level. According to Keynes, it is indirect through the rate of interest and output. Now, the second approach to the quantity theory of money is cash balance approach, or Cambridge version of the quantity theory. The development of cash balance approach to the quantity theory of money is associated with A.C. Pigou. The Cambridge equation is derived from the equation of exchange, that is MV is equal to PT. By solving the equation for M, we will get M is equal to PT by V, that is M is equal to 1 by V into PT. If 1 by V equal to K, now we will get M is equal to K into PT. Here M represents supply of money, P price level, T total amount of goods and service, and K the fraction of annual sales volume held in the form of cash balances. Since K is 1 by V, there is an inverse relationship between demand for cash balances and velocity of circulation of money. If the value of V increases, K decreases. That is, the demand for money as store of value decreases as the demand for money as a medium of exchange increases. Thus, K is the index of the demand for money as a store of value. In the Cambridge equation, M is equal to K into Pt. The left-hand side of the equation represents the supply of money and the right-hand side of the equation represents the demand for money. At equilibrium position, the demand for money and the supply of money are equal. At any time, people hold a certain amount of cash balances sufficient to purchase a given volume of goods and services, which may be a real fraction of national income. Thus, money is demanded as a store of value. The theory can be explained with the help of an example. Let an economy is in equilibrium with M is equal to rupees 500 crores, and if K is equal to 1 by 6 and PT is equal to rupees 3000 crores, then at the equilibrium position, supply of money equals demand for money. That is, rupees 500 crores is equal to 1 by 6 into 3000 crores. Now, if the central bank increases the quantity of money in the economy from rupees 500 crores to rupees 600 crores, people now have larger cash balances than they want to hold. That is, K is equal to M by PT, which is equal to 600 by 3000, equal to 1 by 5. Now, the required cash balance is only 1 by 6, but the actual cash balance when the central bank increases the money supply is 1 by 5, which means the supply of money is greater than the demand for money. When the supply of money is greater than the demand for money, people try to reduce their cash balances by spending more of their excess money balances on goods and services. As a result, that will lead to increase in the price level, that is increase in the value of PT. PT is equal to M by K, then that is equal to 600 by 1 by 6 is equal to 3600. Now, as the above example shows, an increase in the money supply will result in an increase in the price level. Thus, cash balance approach to the quantity theory of money establishes the direct and the proportionate relationship between the supply of money and the price level. The theory is subject to certain limitations. The major limitations are: number one, the theory does not take into consideration the various motives such as speculative demand for money, precautionary demand for money, etc. It ignores the role of rate of interest in the theory. It is a major limitation. It assumes that K and T are constant and the existence of full employment equilibrium. Both are unrealistic assumptions. It fails to explain the trade cycle also. Although the theory is subject to certain limitations, it is considered as superior over transaction approach to the quantity theory of money. The major points are: number one, the cash balance approach explains the value of money in terms of demand for money and the supply of money, but the transaction approach neglects the demand for money. Second one, the cash balance approach brings to light the demand for money to hold. Third, the Cambridge equation is consistent with the modern emphasis on aggregate demand for stabilizing the level of income and employment. Fourth, Cambridge equation regards the cash balances held by the people as a function of level of income. This is an advancement instead of the velocity of circulation of money. Now we can conclude here. Thank you.